today we're going to have a little bit of origami fun by making a 4-in-1 newspaper hat. It's 4-in-1 because the hat progresses into stages, and each stage is a different hat. We'll start with our first stage, which is our basic newspaper hat. And so we need a sheet of newspaper, a nice big one that's going to be big enough to fit on someone's head, of course, after it's folded. Mine's a little small because I'm using grocery store ads today. So we're going to start by making sure our newspaper is folded, and I'm going to turn it so the folded edge is along the top. In your view, it's along the bottom. And so I'm going to take my newspaper and just fold it in half again. Just real quick, this line is just going to be here for a guide. Okay, now unfold that. Now I'm going to take the corner here on that folded edge, and I'm going to fold down a little triangle that meets the line we just folded. And I'm going to do the same thing with the opposite corner. Okay. And now if you want a nice crease that's going to stay a little bit better, you can use your fingernails. That generally tends to help. Okay. So now I'm going to take my unfolded edge and just take the top layer for now, and I'm going to fold it up to meet the triangle that folding down the corners made. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to fold it up once more. But this time the crease was made where the bottom of the triangle and the edge of the newspaper met. Okay. Now, I'm not using real newspaper, and so mine's shaped a little different than a real newspaper would be, which leaves this bar here really wide. So just as an extra step, I want mine a little skinnier, so I'm going to fold the bar in half. Not a required step. I just like the way it looks better. Okay. Now we're going to flip our model over and do the same thing with the other side. So I'm just going to fold up that edge to meet the bottom of the triangle. And then I'm going to fold it up once more. And as an extra step to make it look better, I'm folding that bar in half. But again, you don't have to do that. You can just leave it as it was, especially if you were using a normal size newspaper and might have already started out a little skinnier for you. Now, this leaves us with the first stage of our hat, which is a basic newspaper hat. All right. Opens up at the bottom. Now we're going to move on to stage 2, which is the party hat. So we want on top the flat edge. So we don't want the side that opens. We want the side that's flat. And we're going to unfold our bar here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the side over here and fold it over so it meets that middle line that we made earlier. And of course, we're going to do the same thing with the other side. Once it starts getting thicker, it starts getting harder to fold. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to fold up this bottom edge here and I'm going to fold it up to the middle where it meets the bottom of this bar. Okay. And then I'm going to unfold it. And so the line that we just made, the one right in the middle, we're going to fold up the corners to. Okay. Alright, now I'm going to fold it in half again. And then fold it in half once more. And then fold it back up so we have the bottom of our hat again. Okay. Now I'm going to take this corner up here on the top, and I'm going to fold it down so it meets the very bottom of my hat. So I've taken the top corner and folded it down to meet the bottom of my hat. Okay. And now I'm going to take that corner and tuck it in under the bars so it holds it in place. And that is our party hat. Well, almost. We need to open it up and push it down a little. Anyways, that's the party hat. Flatten that back out. And we're going to move on to the next stage of our hat, which we call the printer's hat. Now, I'm going to find the bottom of my hat, open it up, and find the middle of the sides of the hat, and pull it open. And keep pulling it and pulling it and pulling it until we flatten the hat out. Okay. Now we're going to take this corner here and fold it down and then tuck it underneath the bars. And we're going to do the same thing with that opposite corner. Just fold it down and tuck it underneath the bars. You can fold it as deep as you want, shallow as you want, as long as you can tuck it underneath one of those bars. And now we can open our hat back up. If you want, you can just pinch those corners so it holds a little better. And that gives us our printer's hat. Now the last stage of our hat is called the bishop's hat. And all we need to do to move on to this last stage of the hat is we're gonna untuck those corners that we just folded down. And then we need to untuck the corner that we made, untuck the corner that we folded down to make the party hat. Okay. Alright, turn it around, and that is, open it up a little bit, and we have our bishop's hat. So there you have it, our 4-in-1 party hat. We went from a basic newspaper hat to a party hat to the printer's hat and the bishop's hat.